I'm Jason Hoffman. My goal is to help you have the confidence to just press go live. My baseball streaming setup home version for 2023. Now, two things we pick up playing home games that we don't have playing away games: time and access. The two things we said we were missing for that away setup. So with time and access, we have the freedom to set up in different places, or we have the time to set up a different set of equipment. I have laid out for you what is my normal streaming setup for home games. Whether I'm running it through, the rain has come, and I don't know that I can edit this out with my audio editing software. We'll see. Whether we are at home or away, the backbone of my streaming setup is going to be the Inseego MiFi hotspot from T-Mobile and the Slate AXT travel router that will handle my data and give me a good solid connection between my devices. Sometimes I'm running the Mailbox Pro on my home setup. Sometimes I might be running the Mevo multicam software for it as well. But whether it's Mevo or the Mailbox Pro, our options for cameras are growing as the two of these begin to mature. We have the ability to bring in a cell phone camera, a tablet camera, through both the Mailbox Pro and the Mevo. Now that the Mevo Pro subscription is available, it is advertised as a live call-in feature in the Mailbox Pro, but adding the hardware of a cell phone, which lets me push into whatever that cell phone's zoom level is, and that's a great feature to be able to set up next to or at the first base dugout and push in with a 3x zoom like this smartphone has. Gets me that much closer to pitcher's mound or to the home plate where the batter, catcher are going to be stationed. Now, my hardware is going to still include the tripod with the boom arm. I can set this up outside and get it over close to a netting or to a fence if I'm not allowed to hang on a fence. It works really well for that. Today I have it mounted. Today I'm using it to mount my PTZ Cam 10X USB powered. I can run it into my Mailbox Pro. I can set my presets up, and then I can just hit my presets to go where I want it to go. It can point to home plate. It can point to the pitcher's mound. It can point to first base. Or I can then start to zoom across the diamond or out into the outfield because it has a 10x optical zoom. That was a good addition. It runs into the Mailbox Pro. It does not yet run into my Mevo setup because the NDI part of the Mevo will not allow other cameras yet. That's a coming soon feature that they are working as fast as they can to get ready. Hardware-wise, I'm also going to have my laptop stand that I always carry with me, and the small bits and bobs that go along with it, like my clamp mount, my magnet mount, my 3D prints that allow me to put things in different places. Some of you have asked about those 3D prints that are not listed in my merchandise store. You are welcome to reach out. I'll print just about anything for you if you see a use for it in your streaming setup as well. So if this holder for the Inseego MiFi hotspot is interesting to you as it clips onto this little travel tripod that I use, if the platform that I have my Slate zip tied to is useful for you, just reach out and I'll be glad to print just about anything I have. It may take me a little longer because my normal prints are for the store, but I can get them to you if that's something you're interested in. I do want to show you that my supplier has sent me a different size of the ball head portion of my magnetic mount. Now, it's a good bit smaller than the original, than what I've been sending out up until now, but it doesn't change the functionality at all. It is still just as usable. It is still just as configurable. It's just as strong. It's just smaller. They didn't go down on the price any, but I just want you to be aware that if you order one from me now, you're probably going to get the smaller one as I am just about out of the larger stock that I had. In addition to what you can see here, I have another Mevo mounted over there on the post with a magnet mount, and it does have my mini shotgun mic. The Rode Video Micro, I believe, is the one I have mounted today, and it does have a good windscreen that can filter out some of the wind noise as this blowing rain comes through. It's attached with the cold shoe sleeve that I sell in the merchandise store as well. It can hold 3 different items on that particular sleeve. And then I'm going to have a Sony Handycam if I'm using the YOLOBOX Pro that will allow me to zoom as far as that Handycam zoom allows. I think mine is a 27 or 30 times zoom. I have the ability to run more than one Mevo camera into a YOLOBOX Pro with a UVC to HDMI adapter. There are a couple of different options there. That's not the only way you can get it in, but that's the one that I have invested in, and so that's the one I'll use when I'm setting up YOLOBOX Pro with Mevo cameras. And I need more than one. I can run one of them into the USB port here, but the others can go into HDMI if I have that little adapter that goes along with it. And then, of course, power banks. Power banks, power banks, power banks. I'm going to use, today I have 2 set up already. I have a couple more that I usually take with me because the Slate requires a power bank and the UVC to HDMI adapter requires a power bank. I like to run this PTZ camera off a power bank, so those 10,000 milliamp hour power banks usually are just exactly what I need to run 3.5, 4 hours worth of streaming and not have to worry about battery power. I can go ahead and plug one of those into my YOLOBOX Pro if I'm using that. Of course, with my iPad, I don't need it because it's all-day type battery anyway. But to be able to take the time to set these up in the different areas to give myself a great view of what's happening on the field means the folks who are watching at home have a great view of what's happening on the field as well, and that's the goal when it comes to baseball live streaming. There are Amazon affiliate links to most of these items in the video description below.